Most people think India has never come close to the World Cup. But here is something that will shock you. India actually qualified for the FIFA World Cup once. They had a squad ready. They had a departure date. And then they walked away. This is the full story of Indian football and why 1.4 billion people are still watching from home. 1950. Brazil. The FIFA World Cup. India found itself in the tournament after every other team in their Asian qualifying group, Burma, Indonesia, and the Philippines, all withdrew. India qualified without playing a single match. Brazil was eager to have India. A squad was announced on the 16th of May, 1950. The plan was to fly to Brazil on June 15 and play the opening match against Paraguay on June 25. Everything was ready. Then India withdrew. The official reason given by the All India Football Federation was disagreement over team selection and insufficient preparation time. There were also financial challenges. Bearing the cost of the trip to Brazil in the years immediately after independence was a major burden, and football historians now agree on one more important reason. Administrators of that era simply did not fully understand what the World Cup would eventually become. At the time, hockey was India's dominant sport. The Olympic gold medal mattered more than a football tournament in Brazil. For decades, a popular story spread across India that FIFA refused to allow Indian players to compete barefoot, and that is why they withdrew. Football historians have now challenged that claim. Senior sports journalist Jaydeep Basu wrote in his book that FIFA had no objection to Indian players playing barefoot. The players from the 1948 Olympic squad actually carried football boots in their travel bags and simply chose when to wear them. The barefoot story is a myth. Since 1950, India has tried and failed to qualify for every single World Cup. Cricket took over the entire nation. Funding for football development stayed low for decades. The Indian Super League only launched in 2014, giving India its first proper professional league. In 2024, a 2-1 loss to Qatar officially eliminated India from 2026 World Cup contention. Qatar, ranked 56th in the world, went on to qualify. India did not. But here is the good news. The expansion of the FIFA World Cup from 32 to 48 teams means Asia now gets 8.5 qualification spots instead of 4.5. That is nearly double the chances for every Asian nation, including India. The ISL is growing every year. A new generation of young Indian players are training in European academies for the first time in history. The path to the World Cup is longer than ever, but for the first time, it is also clearer than ever. And if you need proof that size does not stop a nation, look at Curaçao. 158,000 people playing at this World Cup right now. India has 1.4 billion people and a growing football ecosystem. What Curaçao did in 2026, India can do in 2030 or 2034. It starts with belief. It starts with investment. And it starts with understanding the story of how we got here. India qualified for the World Cup in 1950 and walked away. 75 years later, the country is still watching from home. But the 48-team World Cup, the growing ISL, and a new generation of players means the dream is more alive today than at any point in Indian football history. This is Nation 4 of 48 on Pitch and Passport. Subscribe, a new story every day.